Nearly 2 million people in 12 counties face severe food insecurity following prolonged drought, according to a recent drought update by the Red Cross.
The counties affected are Marsabit, Mandera, Garissa, Wajir, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu, Samburu, Kitui, Isiolo, and Laikipia. Most of the malnutrition cases in the affected counties are attributed to reduced milk consumption owing to a decrease in milk production and fewer deliveries of essential nutrition services. In addition, trekking distances to and from water sources for both livestock and communities have increased significantly. There are fears the diminishing resources will trigger the resource-based conflicts if not managed early enough. However, the Kenya Red Cross is supporting efforts by the national and county governments to conduct in-kind food distribution in the affected counties.
And now we're going to stay with that looming drought story, and our very own reporter Mashirima Kapombe was in Wajir County and paints a picture of the crisis in the region. Take a look.
An aerial view of Habaswein sub-county in Wajir. A vast land with extreme severe vegetation deficit occasioned by the ongoing long dry spell.
There's a lot of shifting, a lot of migration. People again marched up to Somalia.
Carcasses after carcasses as weakened animals die in numbers.
Hali inadorora kila siku.
Those still standing march on, having to drive their cattle for miles from scarce pasture to water sources. The animals are highly susceptible, dying from diseases and hunger. Pastoralists here are desperate. A drive through Habaswein sub-county leaves behind a cloud of dust, a sign of the current state in which most of the residents find themselves in. There is little activity within the homesteads. Almost all the cattle have migrated in search of pasture. Those left behind are either weak or too young to migrate. Within this homestead in Tesorie location, a woman is preparing a meal. Boiled maize is what she feeds her animals on to keep them alive.
They boil, it is boiled, so that it gets soft for the weak animals. The weak animals cannot chew actually. Ile chakula ya nyumbani, ile ugali, ama nini, hata wanakula na watoto, wanabakishiwa wanawekewa. It's interfering even the family budget.
Adan Jedi has no option but to share his lunch. It's the only way he knows to keep them alive. His older sons dropped out of school to migrate with the rest of the livestock.
Vijana watatu ambao wameenda kulisha hiyo ng'ombe nyingine huko karibu na boda ya Wajir na Moyale ngali Ethiopia. Na vijana wangu nilijaribu kuwasiliana na hawa karibu wiki moja hivi. Karibu ng'ombe takriban 20 hivi walifariki njiani.
A few lambs are sheltered here. Pieces of carton make do for them. Adan's options are running out day by day. And so are his neighbors.
Kama chakula iko, hii mara ingekuwa namna hii. Unajua ng'ombe kama inaonyeshwa chakula kama mahindi ama maharagwe kile kitu wanakula. Lakini sasa kununua utanunua nini? Hakuna.
The livestock market is inactive. There is no one willing to buy the malnourished animals, and those who are do so at a throwaway price.
The best selling animal was 8,000, 7,000. It was a very good price. But for now, you'll find it's 2,000. The highest will be 3,000. Highest.
Lack of water has become another struggle they have to contend with. Water pans have dried up and the boreholes are unreliable.
Tamale kama hauziki hata jergen ya maji kutafuta huko nani mashini ni shida. Sasa hiyo maji huko inataka diesel. Watu ya mashini wanataka diesel. Kama ubeleki pesa huko, sasa diesel itatoka wapi?
Some of the boreholes here have broken down due to constant use this drought season. This has added pressure to those still functioning. Thousands of goats, sheep and the few cattle left jam the water points on a daily basis. but not all make it to quench their thirst. Lack of pasture has driven most pastoralists far from their homes, hoping to find something for their livestock to graze on. But the return journey back home has proved unbearable for some. These ones met their deaths just a few hundred meters from the water point, a grave loss for a community that depends on livestock.
In those areas, these bushes, you will find not only death, there are a lot of animals that remain there that cannot reach the water point. And then later on you find it's eaten by hyenas or whatever.
The drought has affected the entire Wajir County where we work in. We have 6 sub-counties within Wajir. 4 of them are seriously affected. That includes Wajir South, Wajir East, North, Elders, and part of Wajir West.
The situation has also affected education, as most male children have not reported back to school for the new term and instead migrated with the livestock, while a large population of girls are at home for lack of fees.
Mimi sasa vile unaona ni chama ya shule. Iko msichana hajaenda shule na iko wengine bado hajaenda shule. Baba yake amekosa namna ya kufanya. Watoto 55 ndio wamechukua mtihani. 20 hivi tu ndio ameenda nani shule.
The situation has forced national government, county officials and non-governmental organizations to meet in Habaswein to chart the way forward on intervention measures.
So the county government, which is trying a lot this time, because they are planning on how to take water tracking to those areas where the animals are, and also to buy animal feeds for those weak animals.
As we move forward, the government intends to perhaps add an extra effort in terms of resources, in terms of trying to alleviate the challenges that are faced by the pastoralists.
A drought early warning bulletin by the National Drought Management Authority in March showed tough times ahead. The report forecasted that few parts of Wajir County would experience depressed rainfall in April, with most parts receiving no rain at all. The report forecasts continued vegetation deficiency and recommends for intervention measures to alleviate the sufferings. The abandoned settlements painting a grim picture of the difficult decision families in these parts make to stay alive and save their livelihoods. Mashirima Kapombe, Citizen TV, Habaswein, Wajir County.